Hi, fourth grade friends, it's Mrs. Hoyer. I'm here with my superhero cape, so you know what that means. We are going to continue making inferences. We are going to be using our superpower for reading. All right. We worked really hard last week to sort of reignite that superpower, so we're going to continue that this week, except this time we're going to be reading informational text or nonfiction. So the things that I share with you today are real facts and details. Okay, now just as a friendly reminder, making an inference means that you're making a guess. You have to see something that's not really there in the text. And you're going to do that by combining two forces: what the text says, or text evidence, okay, and you could pull that word for word right out of the text. You might even underline it or highlight it if you had the text in front of you. The second force that you need is your background knowledge, or what you already know about the topic, okay? Combining those two things will allow you to use that superpower and make an inference. Now, today I'm going to read to you a text called The Travels of the Potato, and it's written by Marie Schaefer. While I'm reading, I want you to be listening for details, facts, evidence that's going to help us make an inference about how we think the potato made it from South America to Spain, which is in a completely different continent, the continent of Europe. All right. So we are going to listen very carefully to see if you can identify any facts or details that are going to help us make our guess about how we think the potato made it from South America, the Andes mountain region of South America, to Spain in the continent of Europe. Alrighty, here we go. The potato plant is native to the Andes mountain region of South America. This is where it first appeared and thrived. The ancient Incas were the first people known to eat the potato. It is an excellent food source, one that provides both energy and vitamins. During the 1500s, Spanish explorers to that region encountered the potato. They had never seen it before. By the 1600s, potatoes were grown in many places in Spain. Early on, some Europeans shunned the potato. Scientists learned that it was closely related to some poisonous plants. But some European doctors accepted the potato as a medicine and used it to treat common illnesses. By the early 1700s, potatoes were being raised in England as a food crop. The plants grew well in the cool, moist climate. Soon, the potato became a major food staple, particularly in Ireland. Finally, in 1719, immigrants from England and Ireland introduced the potato to the New England area of North America. Now, if you were listening very carefully, you would have heard that the potato actually wasn't just brought to Spain, it was actually brought to England and Ireland as well. So we're just going to focus solely on the part of how did it leave South America and how did it get to Spain. Now, there were actually three pieces of text evidence that I really find to be super important and will help us make that inference. Now, the three details that I have chosen are the fact that the potato plant is native to South America. In the text, it tells me that the word native means that that is where it all began, okay? It was grown there. It had first appeared in South America, and it could thrive, okay? It grew really, really well in this mountain region, okay? Now, I find that to be really important because that's where it first appeared, okay? But somehow, it made it all the way to Spain. So we're still trying to figure that out. I think this other detail here about the Spanish explorers came upon it, encountered it, and had never seen it before is very important. This word explorers tells me that they have traveled from Spain to South America to sort of look around in this place. They had never ever been there before, and that's where they encountered the potato. And the last and final detail that I thought was really important, and a fact or a detail that's going to help me make my inference, is the fact that in the 1600s, the potato was actually grown in many places all across Spain. So now I have to think about those three details and connect it to something that I already know. Well, this one kind of sticks out to me, the fact that these were Spanish explorers traveling to a place they've never been. And I know that I have traveled to places before. I've been to many states in the United States. I've also traveled out of the country. I've talked to you guys a little bit about that. Never to Spain, but I have traveled out of the country, France and Germany and Switzerland. And I know that when I had traveled there, I actually tried new foods. So I'm wondering if these Spanish explorers, having come upon that potato for the first time, that they probably tried it. So I'm going to add that travelers like you and me, and maybe you've never even traveled out of the state of Iowa, but you may have traveled to a new city and tried a new food or a new restaurant before. Travelers try new foods when they travel to new places. There's something else that I'm thinking about in relation to the last detail from the text, the last piece of text evidence there is, by the 1600s, now the potato has been growing there. So, again, I'm kind of thinking of a time that I've traveled and, how would something from the place I've traveled make it back with me to where I live? And sometimes when I go on vacations, I like to bring back gifts or little trinkets and things like that I really love from that place home with me. So that's something else that I'm going to add, is people who travel bring things home with them. People who travel bring things home with them. So now if I think back to that original question that I had of what inference can we make about how the potato, which was native to South America, that's where it first appeared, that's where it thrived, how did it appear now in Europe? It traveled across an ocean. How did it get there? How did it start growing in Spain? Well, based on these pieces of text evidence and what I already know about the topic, the guess that I can make, or the inference that I can make, is that the Spanish explorers brought the potato back with them to Spain. Now, if you remember, this superpower is our ability to see something that's not really there. There is no bit of text evidence anywhere that directly states that these Spanish explorers brought the potato back with them. We combined evidence, or maybe you might think about these as clues, okay? This text evidence, we combined it with what we already know, and we are making that guess, okay? That's what making an inference is all about. Now, in addition to today's lesson, I'm going to give you a little challenge that you can either email me your answer or you can comment on our weekly Flipgrid. Here it comes. I want you to make an inference, okay? Students are eating together in the school cafeteria. You see someone eat some food, then cover her mouth with a napkin. Looking uncomfortable, she then slips the napkin under her plate. What inference might you make about what you see?